Hello guys, and welcome back to this game, part 2. And do I need something else? Well, I could use some help unpacking the boxes, but pretty sure I can handle it myself. Sure, I'll help. Are you sure? My portrait disappeared. Jeepers, 4 hands are better than 2. Plus, you need to rest a lot to get rid of the nasty jet lag. The faster you finish unpacking, the faster you can take a nap or something. I smiled happily at the offer. The two of us spent a good chunk of the day emptying out box after box and getting to know each other more. That's good. My eyes were wide open when I realized that the sun was already way above the horizon. I looked around for my phone to see that it was 8 in the morning. The next day, way off from what I first thought. How did I get here? Oh no, did I sleep with her? That would be really weird. At the moment I realized that I was in bed with a light blanket thrown over me and I was still wearing the clothes from yesterday. Shifting through my memories, I only remember unpacking the boxes and Robin said back to help. It feels like I blacked out halfway through something. I slowly crawled out of bed and noticed a small note on the side table. Hey! You fell asleep while cleaning up the room. Didn't seem like you were going to wake up soon, so I got you some bread and milk in case you wake up hungry. The door is locked and I slipped the keys through the letter hole, so it should be somewhere on the floor. I hope you feel better after sleeping, Robin. So I did pass out in the middle of something. She must carried me to bed too. How strong she is, or how small you are. Well, that must be embarrassing. Walking out of the living room, I saw only one box left unpacked while the others were already emptied and neatly stuck in the corner. Most of the books and trinkets I brought over neatly arranged on the shelves on the table. I made a mental note to remember to thank Robin the next time we meet before walking over to the door. The keys were right there on the floor, as if someone had slipped through the letter hole, just like she said. I picked them up and placed them on the little key hook on the wall. There was a loaf of bread and a carton of milk on the counter. Just on cue, my stomach started growling. I should get some proper breakfast after this. What are you talking about? Bread and milk is proper breakfast. After taking a few slices of bread and pouring out a glass of milk, I settled down on the couch and began searching for any nearby cafes. There's bound to be some good ones around. A pancake house, breakfast bar, no. Well, I already had pancakes. I'm sorry. I just punched my microphone. As I scrolled down this list recommended food joints, the only options I had were restaurants serving brunch and a bunch of overpriced cafes. I slumped into the couch even more as I saw the scroll bar getting closer to the bottom. I can hear my wallet crying from here. My attention went to the shop listed at the very bottom of the page. It was a small book-themed cafe that was within walking distance from the apartment building. The prices weren't too bad either. Well, that settled it then. I hopped off the couch and hurried to get ready for the day. It was my first actual day here in the city, so I might as well start as soon as possible. After making sure I had everything with me and the door was properly locked, probably locked, are you gonna leave it to chance? I went out in the street, feeling excited as ever. The autumn air was cold, but the morning sun warmed up my surroundings fairly well. Orange and red leaves were all over the sidewalk, since there were trees lined up neatly by the road. A good time for a little morning stroll. So I'm kinda waiting for this game to show me how weird this artificial city is. Because I only met one person and only sit inside of my apartment, so I'm hoping it will be some weird stuff coming on. If not, I'm going to be kinda disappointed. But as I was searching for directions to the cafe, I heard someone clearing their throat behind me. I turned around to see a man looking quite angry at me. Do you mind? What? It was smoking me fresh out of the bed and having yet to fully process my thoughts, but I couldn't catch out what he was saying. Instead, I threw him a confused look. A very confused look. The man, probably feeling more annoyed, glared at me, groaned and gestured at me. It was then I realized that I was still standing in the middle of the staircase, pretty much blocking the whole space. Oh! I quickly jumped out of the way, feeling slightly embarrassed. How did I not notice that? Turning back to the man, I hurried to try to apologize. I'm sorry. I really didn't know. Sip your bread. It's fine. The man let out excess breath that slid and walked past me. As he did, my eyes fell on his golden ones when he glanced back momentarily. Oh my god. I'm in love with this man too? It won't kill you to pay more attention to your surroundings. We don't need another haunted apartment in this building. Another another haunted apartment in this building? What? Pardon? The man didn't stay to clarify what he said. Instead, he kept walking down the sidewalk. So it is going to be supernatural something? I simply stood there, still confused. Haunted apartment? As if on cue, the wind suddenly picked up and made the main entrance door rattle loudly. I, being the coward that I am, made a break for it. I stopped running when I reached a more crowded area, and leaned against a nearby tree to catch up my breath. The streets, both left and right, were packed with people lining up to enter the cafes and bakeries that were open for breakfast. That cafe should be nearby. I pulled out my phone to check if I was swiftly going the right direction as I waved through the crowded sidewalk. The scent that floated around as I walked by the bakeries were so sweet and heavenly. Many of them had their baked goods displayed out to attract customers. I came to one of the cafes that had tables set up outside and could even help to stare at the nicely arranged plates of food the waiters brought out. Even the looks of the meal had my stomach crawling. Looking at the map, the cafe was already nearby. I stopped by a corner and saw the path on the map, leading down a quiet alley. This doesn't look right. The alleyway didn't look suspicious at all. It wasn't hidden, but it was a stark difference to the jam-packed streets just now. Trusting the map and my guts, I went ahead and followed the path. The walls on the alley were decorated with slightly faded murals and little faded lights that were hung on nails. There were one or two people that would walk past me, but besides that, the alley was empty. Finally, I saw a path on the map. This is getting weird. Excellent. Finally, I saw a path on the map. I had stopped. There was a small cobblestone pathway that went through a small garden before stopping at what I assumed to be the cafe. Checking back to the picture on the website confirmed my thoughts. It's bigger than what I thought. Walking up the door, I noticed that there was quite a variety of flowers planted in the garden. What caught my eyes the most was a bed of purple flowers. The colors seemed to pop out amongst that many yellow and orange flowers. The first thing that came to my mind when I entered the cafe was the amount of books in one place. The walls were practically bookshelves, and there were still smaller shelves scattered around the dining area. When they said it was a book-themed cafe, I didn't expect it to be this overwhelming. Even the air faintly smelled like old paper. I love old paper smell. But I don't know if I love it in a coffee. There wasn't a single soul in the cafe, not surprising considering the very isolated location. Even the counter has nobody waiting by it. Is this place even open? I hope I didn't just trespass into some random building, but the empty space didn't lessen my worries. Hello? No answer. Hello? Suddenly, sounds of metal clattering about some grumbling, and someone grumbling came from somewhere behind the counter. After a minute or two, a man came out from the back room and saw a familiar amber eyes glaring at me again. Oh, it's him. The two of us stared each other down for a while. Well, it was more of him staring me down, and I was suddenly praying for a way out. After a while, his expression softened to something less upsetting, and he leaned against the counter. Didn't expect to see you so soon. Same here. So, what can I get you? He sighed again and pointed at the menu hanging above the counter. Did you come here to buy a drink, or are you just here to annoy me? The man lifted a brow and had the most amused expression on his face. At that moment, I really contemplated leaving, but I wasn't feeling up to waiting in a long line to get a good meal. I sheepishly walked over the counter and came face to face with the man. Now sporting a more neutral expression, as he tapped something on the table, I placed my hands on the counter to stop myself from fleeing with them. What will it be? Let's save here and order by myself or ask here. Yeah, I'm not fond of asking people what to eat because they usually recommend something I'm not gonna like because I'm really picky with food, so I will order by myself. Looking at the menu, I noticed a small variety of drinks that I had no idea what they yeah, but this is a different country. I'm dumb, but no, I'm sorry. Next to the drinks menu was listed as baked goods, and thankfully the names weren't as big. The man behind this counter cleared his throat, pulling me out from my talks. His expression had a tin of concern in them. Need any help? I'm just gonna do my Batman voice for him. It's fine. I was just intrigued by the names. You have no idea what they are, is that right? I chuckled nervously and noted which made the man chuckle as well. It seemed like he was used to people reacting this way. I really told the owner to change names, but he's too stubborn of a man to listen to advice. Says the normal names aren't unique enough. He must be very intent in keeping up his flair then. Well, it's not that confusing. Some of the names are actually cute. Really? That's a first. After that little talk, I went back to staring at the menu. Maybe I'll just trust my guts. I'll have the chocolate concoction. Chocolate. Yeah, it's L, right? Chocolate concoctions and the chocolate cherry bun. Chocolate cherry bun? I don't want to eat that. Chocolate, good choice. The man flashed a smile and he began tapping them into the machine before turning it over to me. Show the price. It was a good price, just like what the review said. Tap your card here and the receipt will print out automatically. I nodded and did as he told me to while he moved to the drink station to start making my drink. After grabbing the receipt, I walked over to the drink station where he was already busy preparing the ingredients for my orders. However, when I looked at him, I was quite surprised to see his previously tight feathers suddenly soften as he worked. I didn't miss the little pep in his step as he took out a bar of dark chocolate from the fridge. After cutting them up into little pieces, he placed them into a small pot to melt over at the stove. So he enjoys cooking. What's good. If I wasn't mistaken, he was even humming a little tune and he poured water into the coffee drip. Despite being cheery and peppy, he still remembered to be mindful of the water flow based on how he controlled his hand movements. Well, he knows his trade. What do you want? It seemed like he was at home working there, behind the counter. Just him, the tools he needed, and the nice smell of coffee and chocolate wafting around him. Somehow seeing him happy elevated my mood slightly, and I couldn't help but smile as well. I thought it would be weird if I was standing here and came back, so I decided to take a seat while waiting. I walked over to the vacant seats by the window. The view of the window was serene, and the garden was filled with yellows and orange, but the patch of purple flowers kept catching my attention. I wonder who's tending these flowers. The shelf directly behind me was filled with slightly older-looking books, thick and most probably dusty too. I brushed some of them, dust of the books. The texture of the leather books' spines were coarse and some were slightly peeled off. These were definitely old books. Whoever the owner is must be a big fan of books, or is really keen on keeping up the theme. As I reached out to pull out a book, the sound of footsteps approaching filled the space. Turning back around, I saw him walking over with a tray in hand. Chocolate, concoction, and chocolate cherry bun. I forgot my pen and voice. Seeing the drink and bread on the tray had me surprised, almost speechless. It's something wrong. Besides smelling delightful, the food and drink were really well decorated too. The mug had a little beer-shaped chocolate clinging to the rim, while the cherry bun had a little beer earth smolder on it, and a cute beer face was drawn on the top with some cream. I almost feel like wanting to eat this. It looks so adorable. I'll take that as a compliment. Enjoy your breakfast. I smiled and nodded at him as thanks, and he did the same as well. As he walked back to the counter, he stopped halfway and turned back to my table. Damn question. Are you the person that just moved into my apartment? I guess. The 503? For a moment I forgot what my own apartment number was and I almost said no. Yeah, I just got here yesterday morning. How did you know? I saw the lights were on in the apartment. Though the owner just forgot to turn them off. But then I saw the doorbell activated. Seemed like most logical conclusion. Alright, I see. Well, since we live in the same building, might as well get to know each other. I'm Alan. I held out my hand for a handshake and the man received it. Name's Anson. 505. Anson. Oh, that's just across the hallway. Guess we're neighbors then. Looks like I'll be seeing you around more often. I'd like to apologize in advance in case I do anything to them again while I'm here. Just don't sound around ganging in front of the entrance again. With that said, Anson walked back to the counter. A flash of a smile could be seen when he glanced back to me. So, I have met one kid girl, and one kid boy. So that's two. I need more characters, come on. Oh wait. What? These books, are they just for decoration, or just put them back in order when you are done? Shortly after he left, I picked up the same book I was saying previously. The book was quite thick, but it was just to pass the time while I ate. As time passed by, I actually started to get invested into the story and began reading more and more. By the time I looked up, there were so many customers in the cafe that the line was starting to form. Looking at the mug, I was already empty, and I already ate upon my foot, just when I wanted to order again. Maybe I'll come back here again tomorrow. I placed the book back in place, taking note of where I was for the next time, and cleared up the table. I gave Anson a little wave when I went over to give him the food tray before leaving. To my surprise, he waved back and talked quite awkwardly. "You were really into that book, huh?" It was a pretty interesting book. I'm not really a fan of magical fantasies, but this one could be an exception. I'll see you around? Probably. I don't know why I'm giving him that voice. I left the cafe in a much better mood. Checking the time, it seems I spent quite a few hours in the cafe and I was already past noon. I guess I could look around the area for more before going back. By the time I arrived home, it was already dark out. Walking around aimlessly definitely helped in covering more ground, but it wasn't easy trying to find my way back. At least it was nice to know there was a lot nearby. I'm sorry. A few minute walk will take me to the grocery store across the street. A longer walk will take me to the clinic and a hospital. A little bit further from there was a little square with a bunch of stalls and restaurants. Now, let's see what Terrace City's cuisine has to offer. On the way back, I stopped by some of the food stalls to buy dinner. It was quite hard to find something familiar that wasn't fast food, so I settled for some of the local food. As weird as their tastes were, the night passed by peacefully. The television was turned on to the local news, and there wasn't much on it either. It was mostly talk about the weather, their group of kids winning a competition, and a lady knitting a lot of sweaters. Oh my god, that's a lot of sweaters. I didn't pay much attention to it since my mind was mainly on the segment I received sometime today. It's quite an interesting assignment too. An interview with Professor Stoner. Professor Stoner. What? Professor Stoner at Pavilion University's Engineering Department. Reading the information available regarding the professor, it looks like I thought he was a he. She's one of the major contributors to the city's recent advancements, but in the city's infrastructure and in ongoing research done by the government. She sounds amazing. Suddenly I felt a pressure to at least be familiar with her field. It will definitely help with the interview tomorrow. If I knew what to ask, I should look into her biography too, just in case. Alright, the faster I finish this, the faster I can rest and wake up tomorrow. So, the night sky slowly changed to a rosy morning sky, and I was still sitting at the table trying to... No, I didn't sleep at all. To compile all the information from last night's research. A part of me regretted trying to have all the grounds covered, but at least I'm well prepared for today. Hopefully. This should be enough. Is it? Never mind. I need to get ready. I rushed to my sword of mine and made sure to look as presentable as possible. Okay, recorder, notebook, pen, keys, wallet, all set. Your mask! The slight nervousness I felt already dissipated and excited feeling started to settle in. It's the first assignment of my new job. I should be excited. So I hope that the doctor is good. After what felt like an eternity, I finally reached the gates of Pavilion University. It definitely felt like my legs were going to fall off, but at least I arrived early. This bit's being stuck in traffic, I guess. I wanted to call a cab at first, but the second I stepped out of the building, there was a long traffic jam that backed up the entire street. Oh, there's a lot of people in the city then. Everything is so packed, always. It didn't seem like it was all about to leave any sooner either, so I ended up walking all the way to the university. After registering myself at the main entrance, I made a beeline to the nearest bench to crouch on and catch my breath. The university looks a lot bigger on the inside. I should ask at the words for directions earlier. I remember driving through the school district when arriving here and seeing the university from outside the gates. From the outside, it looked like it only had one tall building, but the high walls hid the numerous smaller buildings within the grounds. There weren't that many people in the main gate area. If there were, it was still running across the lawn to the main building. I'll just walk around and find the directory. And then again, it's almost 20 minutes, and I guess I will do part 3 because I want to meet the doctor and see what this city has to offer for me. And I will see you in the next part, guys, and goodbye. Hello guys, Hikiami Morikotes, and we are again for part 3 of this game. This looks nothing like the engineering department. As I walk around the large campus, I found myself walking out from the main campus area and into a little garden area. Before getting here, I managed to find the administration office to ask for directions. They even marked it down on the campus map, but did I take a wrong turn from the center card? Or is it that building back there? I lost track of how long I've been walking around like this, but luckily there's still time before the interview. I suppose to start, but that doesn't mean I can stay lost forever. How is it possible that there isn't a single other person walking around here to ask for help? I'm bound to find this building at some point, if I'm lucky. I'll just retrace my steps back to the office and follow them up again from there. As I was about to turn back, I saw a lone person sitting on one of the garden benches. Finally, a sign of life in this empty area. I'm saved. I started walking towards the person, and as I did, I realized that they were sitting still, a little too still. I didn't mistake a statue for a person, did I? Stepping closer, I soon realized that it was indeed a person. It was a girl peacefully sleeping. So I decided to edit this part into part 2, and I'm not going to do part 3. But you guys can play the rest of the game if you want. You can do, the link will be down in the description. And thanks for watching, and sorry for not making part 3. I just want to play this on my own and let you guys discover the rest of the story for yourselves. And thanks for watching these videos, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.